All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
All right, what's happening? Excuse me. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, December 13th, 2023, Wednesday. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Not too bad. Went 3-3 last night.
3-3?
Yeah, went 1-2 in NBA and 2-1 in hockey.
I went 5-4. I went 2-0 in the NBA, 2-1 in college basketball, and 1-3 in hockey. So didn't have a good night in hockey last night, but hey, that happens sometimes. Yep. All right. Well, we got a decent slate of games today. Some NBA, some hockey, and some college basketball. NFL back tomorrow with Thursday night football. And then, of course, we have the college bowl game starting this weekend.
Yeah, college bowl games. We got 3 NFL games on Saturday. We got a big UFC on Saturday. Of course, NFL games on Sunday, too.
Yep. So pretty busy weekend in the sports world. All right. Does it surprise you that the Cowboys are underdogs against the Bills?
Yeah. It's at Buffalo, though, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
They don't play near as well on the road. Yeah, I still think you would think that they would be a slight favorite. I don't think they should be a big favorite, do you? I don't think either one of them should be a big favorite. I'd say no more than a couple points, 2 or 3 points. But I would think Dallas. But they haven't played real well on the road, so I think that might be part of the reason. Big game for Buffalo. They need this one.
They haven't played well Dallas hasn't played well on the road, and they have struggled against teams with good records. The Bills aren't a team with a good record, but
look at this comparison.
Bills have been playing pretty hot
against current NBA current
playoff
teams. You see what Dak has done, and you see what Purdy's done.
Yep.
18 touchdowns, 5-2 record, only 3 interceptions, 124.2 passer rating for Purdy, 68% complete. The only thing that Dak beats him in is passing yards by about 15.
But Dak's the MVP, and Purdy shouldn't even be in the conversation if you you listen to a lot of these people on TV.
Yeah,
which makes no sense to me, but okay. I heard heard some guys arguing about on the radio today, and they were saying that the difference is that with the Cowboys, it's all about Dak. If Dak plays good, they play good. Okay, so Dak don't have no weapons. So last 3 or 4 years, all I've heard is, or used to hear before when Dak was struggling, oh, he needs more help. He needs more help. They brought in Amari Cooper. Wait a minute. What happened when they brought in Amari Cooper? Dak started playing better. Now they have CD Lamb.
CD Lamb's probably, I know he's a top 10 receiver. He might be a top 5 receiver.
I just don't.
I think Pollard's a top 10 running back, so he's got weapons.
When it comes to some quarterbacks, we say they need help, and they get the help, and then they start playing better, and we praise them. But then with other quarterbacks, we criticize them and try to downgrade them because of the players they have around them. And it just,
I think so.
It comes down to nobody wants to. It comes down to people that want to admit that all the scouts and all these people were wrong on a guy, and it happens all the time.
But the other thing comparable, Dak wasn't a first round pick either. He was what?
I think a fourth round
pick. So
that's third or fourth round.
That
pick.
even makes them more comparable. I mean, I know Purdy was the last pick in the draft, but he wasn't a first round or second round, and neither was Dak.
Yeah,
and it's took Dak a lot longer to get to this point than it's took Purdy.
Yeah, but Dak did have he had a real good rookie year. Yeah, they had a winning good record, went to the playoffs, and played good. He played well in that game against Green Bay and ended up losing. Yeah. So I mean, Dak did have a good rookie. Dak's had some good years, but he's also had. I mean, he's been okay this year, but look at him against the better teams. They beat up on bad teams.
Yep.
And everybody wants to talk about the 3 games San Francisco lost. Purdy played terrible. Did he play great? No, but he also had his team the chance to win those games if they hit field goals, and it's totally different conversation because then San Francisco might only have 1 loss.
And Dallas and San Francisco, I think, are kind of comparable because I think San Francisco's got a real good offensive line. I think Dallas has got a pretty good offensive line. Dallas has got a real good defense. San Francisco's got a real good defense. Now, I think the biggest difference, I think San Francisco's got the best running back in the league, but I still think Pollard's a top 10 running back. And I think they've got one of the better receivers in the league, Dallas. And San Francisco's got a couple of good receivers. So, I mean, I think they're comparable talent-wise. I think San Francisco's a little better talent-wise.
I think San Francisco's the team to beat myself. I've been on them all year. So.
If they stay healthy, but that's with any team.
Justin Herbert out for the season. We didn't talk about that much yesterday.
They finally made it official.
Yeah, he has to have surgery on that broken finger. He broke a finger on his throwing hand now.
Who's the quarterback now?
I can't remember what their backup name. The guy that came in and played that day, came in and played Sunday when he went out. He's going to be their starter, and they brought up Max Duggan off the practice squad. So he's on the active roster, so he'll be the backup.
Does that save the Chargers coach's job with him being hurt, or do you think he's done?
I think he's done. I think he's done. I don't think that's if they were planning on firing like this saves it because you had most of the season with Herbert and look what has happened. But with that Chargers organization, you never know. Hell, they might give him another year, but I think he's going to be out. What
about the rumor? I seen a rumor report come out today from a newspaper. I think it was the Boston Globe. I'm not sure that coach from New England, Belichick, is gone. They're saying that after the owner decided after the loss to the Colts in Germany that he was done.
I find that hard to believe that you're gonna make a decision then. If Kraft was that upset about the loss in Germany to the Colts that was what was going that tipped it where he was going to get rid of him. I think you get rid of him then. You don't wait till the rest of the season. I know it's Belichick, and you say you got to show him respect and all that, but you're not showing them respect if you've told somebody that and it gets leaked out. You're not showing them the respect that he deserves. So if I don't think so. I think it's going to come down McAfee talked about it too. I think that it's going to come down to at the end of the season they'll meet together and talk, and then it'll go from there. Whether is Belichick wanting to stay there, is Kraft done with them?
Do you think it's time for him to move on? What do you think?
If I'm the owner, I wouldn't fire him. I'd at least give him a year or another two, because now you're finally you're going to have a top pick, or not a top pick, but probably a top 10 pick to work with. When's the last time New England's had a top 5, top 10 pick? I don't think they've had many, if any, since Belichick's been there. Maybe at the beginning, but not since then. So I think you give him a year or two, see if he can find a quarterback and get it turned around. I mean, the dude's arguably the best coach there's ever been, and you can say he's as a GM, you can say he's been one of the better GMs too. I mean, over the last couple of years, as he always hit on. Everybody talks about, he don't hit on his draft picks. He can't find a receiver. He can't find this. Look where he's drafting. If you look where he's drafting at and how his picks are done compared to other GMs, it's not that bad. It's not like he gets a draft pick in the top 10 all the time.
Yeah.
They're usually drafting the first round pick is 20th or higher. I mean, they're at the back end of the first round most years. The last couple of years they haven't been, but most years they're. So it's not like he's had the opportunity to try to draft some of them guys, for one. And people want to say he's a terrible GM, but he's been the GM there. I think the whole time he's been the head coach, he's been the GM. They've won 6 Super Bowls.
Can't say he's terrible.
Had one of the winningest 20 years ever. I mean, so you got to give him credit as a GM for that as well as a coach. But I think it'd be hard to move on from him. Yeah, I think you give him this chance. Hey, we've had a bad couple of years. Let's see if we can find a quarterback and see what happens. The defense is still pretty good. They ain't been able to find a quarterback and ain't been able to score points.
Yep. The defense ain't played bad, especially as of late. If Belichick moved on, we've already talked about who we thought might be the next guy. We thought the guy from Tennessee would be somebody they would look at as maybe a possible replacement. Where do you think Belichick, if he still coached, what do you think he would fit at?
I think he'll coach. I think because he's a football coach. I think he's going to coach basically until he's close to dying. But
Chargers, a lot of talent on that team.
I could see him. I could see him going to the Chargers. I'd said that earlier in the year. If I think he's going to go. Well, a lot depends on what teams are interested in. He's going to go somewhere where he has a quarterback. I think. I mean, that's the most important thing. If you go to the Chargers and you have Herbert,
yep,
and he adds some stability and a little bit of discipline to that team where they don't get 1,000 penalties, and play a little smarter. That can be Chargers can be a dangerous team. If I'm the AFC, I don't want Belichick to end up with the Chargers.
I agree.
I would not want Belichick with the Chargers.
How about Belichick and Tennessee? They switch places.
One thing is, Tennessee, I think, is still kind of looking for a quarterback.
But Levis may. I mean, it's too early to say.
Yeah,
Levis.
I'm not saying he's not.
They have somebody that might be. Let's say David.
Yeah, I'm hearing that if they do fire Belichick, a lot of people think they're going to hire. Is it Gerard Mayo? I think was the name. He's on the New England coaching staff. A lot of people think he's going to be the next guy in New England if they move on. And how does that work? If you move on from Belichick, do you want to keep a Belichick guy there? You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Dave? Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game tonight. Pacers and the Bucks. Hopefully you're right, and the Pacers do kick their ass to get tonight. We was able to get the win in last week? Yeah, last week.
Yep.
During the in-season tournament. Now we'll see if we can get it one up there in Milwaukee, because that game's on the road, if I remember correctly. What else do we have? Did you see where the Duke quarterback did go to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I seen that.
I think that's a good pickup for Notre Dame.
I think so. I think so too.
And you still have people crying about the Chiefs.
Oh Jesus!
They didn't play good in the first half. Real good in the first half is what I just heard a guy say, and then then the game got stolen from them in the last minute. Game gets stolen from you when your guy is offsides. So what would they call it if? So what do they call it if the other team would?
If Kansas City would have been on defense, he would have.
Oh yeah,
He would completely.
Yeah, if that'd been the other way,
it'd be the game got stolen from because they made the call.
You can't pick and choose when calls are made. If it's offsides. You can't call one. You can't say you don't call that because it's at the end of a game. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty.
I seen a highlight of. I know you like him real well. I do too, but I'm terrible with names. He's on ESPN. Quarterback, I think Orlowski, I think it was. He did a breakdown of the game. He watched a lot of that game. That dude lined up off sides 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. I haven't watched it.
He showed it. He showed it. And people said, well, they didn't call it every time. Well, why didn't they give him a warning? Why do you have to give players warnings?
It sounds like they gave him a warning. It sounds like they gave him 5. If he was offside, lined up offside 5 or 6 times, sounds like they gave him 5 or 6 warnings. I mean, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, do they don't give these guys warnings that go to make a tackle, try to keep their head out, and the guy moves and they still make a little bit of contact with the helmet. And they call him for a personal 15-yard penalty, personal foul, and it can change a game. They don't give them guys warnings. Should they give? Oh, we're not going to call it this time, but if that happens again next time, we're going to call it. People would go crazy.
Yeah. And there was a defensive player on that show with Orlowski, and he said, I would line up and I would turn to the referee and ask him, okay, am I all right? And the referee would say, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're fine.
Well, if you watch games, you see receivers do that all the time. They'll look at the judge on the sideline and go like this, like, am I good?
I never heard of no such thing. I mean, I didn't know that they did that. To me, the referee's job.
But it's not. But the referee isn't just going to do it on his own. Now, like if the player goes like that, the referee will say, yeah, you'll see the referee go like that, like you're good. If you watch that play, he didn't do that. So I mean, it's not the ref's obligation to make sure you line up where you're supposed to line up. Now, if the player asks you and the referee says, yeah, you're good, I don't have a problem with that because, hey, okay, refs are standing right down the line.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal because I'm sure they would do that for a defensive guy, cornerback, probably the same way.
Well, they said they've done it. So, I mean, I don't have a problem. I didn't know anything like that existed. To me, I don't see why it's the referee job to tell you, yeah, you're good, you're not good.
Well, the thing is, not their job, but I have seen, like, if you watch a game, you'll see the receivers you'll see the receiver look at the ref like, am I good? But my whole thing is, you can't, Chief fans and Chiefs can't have it both ways. Last year in the Super Bowl, look how much controversy was around that call. And I felt like it should have been called. You saw a jersey pull and it would have been called any other time in the game. Did it suck that it was at the end of the game and helped decide the game? Yes. But if it had been called any other time, you call it.
Yep.
But you can't, as a Chiefs fan or a Chiefs player, say, oh, yeah, that was the right call. That was the right call. And then this happens, and then your first reason for not calling it is they shouldn't call that with only a minute left in the game. I mean, you want a lot of people say you want a Super Bowl because of a call that was made the last few seconds of the game.
Yep. Most definitely.
Even though, like I said, I thought it was the right call because you see that called throughout the game, so you call it then too. But you can't be on the opposite side of it when it favors you.
Yep.
Or when it goes against you, I should say.
Yeah, I agree. Most definitely.
And they've been, man, that's all you've heard the last couple of days. Which Mahomes did come out. He did come out and apologize and backtrack a little bit, which I respect because hey, it's easy to get caught up in the moment, get heated, and act a fool. I mean, hey, well, everybody's done it. Everybody's done it.
You think his manager might have had a dog with him? Hey, you might want to back off, calm down a little bit. All this money, you're making more money on commercials than you're making in the NFL. I got a feeling his agent might talk to him. I did have a question for you. What do you think about the contract that everybody was going crazy about I can't remember his name now. The player's going to the Dodgers.
Otani?
Yeah, doing all that deferred money and only getting paid like $2 million a year right now. But a lot of these, when his career's over, a lot of these people are going to be upset. His career's over, and you're going to be paying him all this money in 10 years. Don't you think that they may be a little upset? I mean, it sounds great now.
Yeah, but we've seen this happen a lot. I don't think people realize how much this happens in Major League Baseball.
no.
Maybe not to this extent, this amount of money, because he's deferring almost all of his money. Like he's deferring like $68 million a year to the end of his career. He's only going to be making like $2 million a year through the first 10 why the contract's going through them 10 years, and the rest 680 million of it or whatever he's going to get paid after that contract's already done. Kind of like the Bobby Bonilla contract.
Yeah.
It wasn't for that amount of money, because
No.
Bonilla, I think, is still getting paid like almost $3 million a year or something.
Yep.
And he ain't played in over 20 years.
Yeah.
There'll be Dodger fans, especially if the Dodgers start going downhill, and then people will be complaining, well, if they wouldn't be paying him all this money, which in baseball there's no salary cap either. But I understand why he's doing it. We've never seen a player defer this much of the money. I mean, he's deferring like 80%, 90% of his contract
90%.
till after he's made the contract to be over.
Yeah.
But he can do that because he makes like $50 million a year in endorsements and stuff off the field.
Yeah.
So he's still going to be making 50 to 60, 55, 60 million a year every year. And then he's going to have all that money. Basically, most of that could be when he's retired. He'll be
got a hell of a retirement plan.
Making 680 million or something.
He got a hell of a retirement plan. Dude's a smart dude, man.
And they said it was his idea.
Yeah.
They said that he went to the Dodgers. They wanted to do that to try to help make sure they can get other players and try to win championships. But yeah, you don't see many players defer that much of their money. I mean, you'll see some. Like I said, you've seen it, because we see older players are still getting paid. Guys that are retired are still getting paid by teams that have done that, but not 80, 90% of your salary. I think it's a smart move for him. In a way, I don't know if I'd have deferred that much of it, but hey, it's guaranteed, and you're getting that money. So I mean, if you're making enough money now, why not? I mean, you can just know you're set up for. I mean, hell, he's set up for the rest of his life, and hell, his kids.
His kids probably.
I mean, you basically know you have over $600 million coming after you're done playing. I mean, when you'll probably be retired by then. What do you think about, before we get into the day's picks, Draymond Green? Did you see what he done last night?
I didn't. I haven't.
Oh, you haven't seen that video?
No.
Oh, wow. He spun and threw a punch and knocked the dude upside the head, Nurkic.
Okay.
But it was like he was spun almost like 180 degrees and just boom. He ended up getting kicked out of the game. But yeah, it was crazy. I didn't see it happen live. But I saw the video earlier. They showed it on here earlier as when I first turned it over there. But I'd seen it before that, because they talked about it a little bit on McAfee. But yeah, that dude's having a hell of a year. He can't stay on the court. Can't stay on the court, and he's hurting the Warriors. They need him on the court, and Warriors are off to a bad start. They're going to have to turn it around. They're going to mess around and not make the playoffs.
It's quite possible.
But yeah, you need to see that video. He knocked the hell out of you.
So I imagine he's going to be out for a while. He'll probably get suspended, I would assume.
I would say he's probably going, because he just came off a suspension where he was suspended for 5 or 6 games. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets if he gets suspended again. But yeah, it was. I saw it. I was cracking up. I was like, "Really? You just got back in and you're going to do that?" Let's see if this is it. Time to apologize. Why are you apologizing to Baker for? The team is 6-7. He's completed 62% of his passes. I mean, it ain't like he's. You know, why would you owe Baker an apology for that?
I don't know.
Look, what's this? That wasn't a real good angle of it. Here it goes. Boom!
Whoa! What the hell is he doing?
I would say he's gonna get suspended.
Yeah, he should. He's got some issues now.
Yeah, he's trying to post up, and the dude's just battling with him a little bit. He just spuds around, bam! Like, yeah, I was cracking. I was like, man, this dude, he's trying to get suspended.
Yeah, hey, Billy Butts. He's got some. Green's got some issues.
But all right, we'll jump into today's games. Went 5-4 yesterday. I did have a good day in the NBA. Tonight in the NBA, I'm gonna go with the Pelicans at the -7.5 against the Washington Wizards. We'll take the Toronto Raptors at the -1.5 against the Atlanta Hawks. Take the Houston Rockets at the -7.5 at home against the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Lakers at the -2.5 against the San Antonio Spurs. That's going to be my four for picks for today.
We didn't pick any games the same today. Nothing. I've got completely different. I've got the Pacers at Milwaukee. I've got at the under 258.5. I've got Brooklyn at Phoenix. I'll take Phoenix -2. And I've got Charlotte at Miami. I've got Miami -8. That's my 3 picks. You didn't take no Pacers today?
No. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Halliburton has to look to score a little more than what he has the last couple games, and then this could be a little bit of a revenge game for Milwaukee from last week in that in-season tournament. Don't get me wrong, I'm Pacer fan. I want the Pacers to win. I think they have a good shot of winning, but it's not one that I felt comfortable giving out a pick for today.
I went with the under.
250. What'd you have of that?
I got 258.5.
Yep, 258.5. Damn, that's a lot of points.
I thought so too. So that's why I took the under. It'll probably be over.
Hockey tonight, I'm going Bruins money line against the Devils, Islanders money line at home against the Ducks, and the Jets on the money line on the road against the Kings.
Well, we got 2 of the same. I got Boston money line at the New Jersey Devils. I got Buffalo at Colorado. I'll take Colorado money line. And I've got the Ducks at the Islanders. I've got the Islanders money line.
Did it surprise you that the Bruins are underdogs in that game against the Devils?
Yeah, I did. Devils pretty good team too, but yeah, it surprised me a little bit.
And then college basketball, I'm going with Creighton at the -12.5 against UNLV. Toledo -8.5 at home against Marshall, and Longwood -2.5 against Milwaukee.
I couldn't find anything I liked. I looked at it.
That's going to be, there's a lot of big spreads in college basketball tonight. But I ended up going with those 3. I went 2-1 in my college basketball picks last night. Hockey's where I struggled at yesterday. I've usually been doing okay in hockey, but not last night. But that happens sometimes. All right. Well, did you have anything else for today?
No, we got a big wrestling show coming up Sunday. Looking forward to that. We're pro wrestling, so I'm looking forward to that. We got an interview tonight. Wrestling interview tonight.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Saturday or Sunday we'll be at Warrior Pro Wrestling 27.
I believe so.
Yes, 27.
Right.
Should be a real good show. I know Yeah, Blake Money Wright and Logan Myers going at it again for the title. It was a real good match last time. Logan lost, or got called. A pinfall got called, but his foot was on the rope. So rematching that, and then I know there's going to be, like you said yesterday, I think Zay Gates might be getting a chance at the Warrior Pride title. Yep. Jesse Winchester, after he won the number one contendership, through a battle royal, and then a hell of a match with Jared Kripke last month. Oh yeah, I know IK3 is going to be on the card again. Buck Sexton,
Jeremy Hadley.
I think
Santa Claus is deciding Jeremy Hadley's opponent because Jeremy's been a bad boy.
I've heard a rumor that it might be Marcus Fine.
Oh, okay. That'd be all right. That'd be all right with me. I don't know if it'll be okay with Marcus, but
hey, there's some history there between Hadley and Marcus. So I mean,
hey, maybe we get Big Glenn in the ring.
It make a little sense.
Make Big Glenn his manager. Big Glenn and Marcus's corner. Ain't nothing could go wrong there.
Oh man! Then tonight, wrestling manager and also a podcast host, Shooting with Shane, will be on with us tonight at 7:00.
That should be interesting.
So join us for that. I think he's actually going to be ending his podcast here in a couple weeks.
That's what I heard
from what I'm hearing. So sure, we'll find out a little bit more information about that tonight. So Billy says he wants a backyard brawl. So join us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern for that. Sunday, 3:00, Warrior Pro Wrestling. Before we get out here, my picks for tonight. My record is 7-24 and 555 on the year. I'm going to go with the Pelicans at the -7.5, Raptors -1.5, Rockets -7.5, and the Lakers -2.5. NHL tonight, Bruins money line, Islanders money line, and the Jets money line. And then in college basketball tonight, Creighton -12.5, Toledo -8.5, and Longwood at the -2.5.
Okay, my NBA picks for tonight. I got the Pacers in Milwaukee. I'll take the under 258.5. I got Brooklyn at Phoenix. I'll take Phoenix -2. And I've got Charlotte at Miami. I'll going to take the Heat -8. In my NHL picks, I've got Boston money line at New Jersey. I got Buffalo at Colorado. I'll take Colorado money line. And I got the Ducks at the Islanders. I'll take the Islanders money
line. All right. Billy says, I'll take all comers. Damien said, when you bring back the midday and morning shows, miss it. We'll probably be making some changes and bringing some stuff back here at the first of the year.
Yep.
We've been talking about some stuff. So I don't know if it's exactly going to be doing something in the morning and afternoon, exactly what it's going to be yet. But
definitely going to have some more shows.
First of the year, some of that stuff will probably be coming back, or might be some new stuff. But yeah, got a couple weeks finish out this year, and then sometime hopefully toward the beginning of January, we'll be getting some of that stuff going.
Yep.
But we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at Gonzo Sports Room as well. Join us tonight, 7:00 for the interview with Shooting with Shane. And we'll be back tomorrow right around 3:00 with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show.